3, 2, 1, and welcome to another Tearing It Up Tuesday, the hippest trip on YouTube. And I'm so glad you came. You're feeling what we are dealing. So tonight is going to be just a casual talk between me and some friends. And luckily, I strong-armed Unirock into coming in and starting the segment with me. But there will be a few people coming and going as the night goes on. But it'll be a kind of a short one tonight. Tonight's topic is going to be social norms and strange holiday traditions. And we're going to dive a little deeper into that in a minute. But I want to introduce Unirock. And, we haven't, I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since we've been on each other's channel. What's been going on, man? I've missed a lot of what's going on over in your world. Catch me up.
I've been just streaming a lot and trying to hone the stream, which I think I finally did it. I've been busy because I haven't been on a lot of social media like Discord and stuff. So I needed some time to, just get my stuff straightened out, make it look prettier. It's looking better, though. So I'm glad to finally see you, though, Doc. Seriously, it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's every once in a while I'll do a day or two where I retreat and just go play with my YouTube and try to make it nicer. Like, update the landing channel and update and make it look better and just try to make the playlist smoother and stuff like that. So I understand. If you guys don't know, when you become like a full-time YouTube guy, it is constantly tweaking and doing maintenance and messing with keywords and descriptions and all this stuff to get maximum hits. And it is a full-time job sometimes. So I know where you're at. But lately, I think you said you've been working on your video quality, right?
Oh, yeah, man. I noticed that, when I streamed my stuff was the audio, especially, I couldn't get songs to come through. And that's a big part of what I do. I like playing independent bands, independent musicians. So I had to really work. Man, it probably took a solid week of nonstop working, but once I got the settings in, it's gotten a lot better. But yeah, I've been working on that a lot, actually, and I'm glad I'm done because, man, it was stressful, but it's over, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I that's it. I'm kind of slack about that. I keep using the most basic YouTube stuff. I keep telling myself, man, I'm gonna up my game and do this stuff one day, and I never do. I'm trying to actually move back to doing some stories once in a while instead of so much live streaming. But it's fun. I like live streaming because you get to talk to people, and that's more of a chill vibe for me, for sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm addicted to live streaming. It's just so fun because you see the people there and you talk to them. And I have late night streams where I just talk to the audience for an hour or two. So I've just been getting really bad addicted to it.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it. And guys, by the way, this is going to be, like I said, on social norms, weird stuff we do in our culture and other cultures, also holidays. The reason I started this was I've been sitting here trying to rack my brain on what do I get my dad for Father's Day. I can't believe it's already Father's Day, and it was just Mother's Day, and there's always a damn day somewhere. It's like every month I think there's something, and it just kind of, it bugs me because how far do you go to the Hallmark holidays? Like, how far over do you cross before you just lose yourself and you're just like part of the machine? And what is the social stigma of saying, you know what, Dad, I love you, but this is like a Hallmark holiday that's made up and I'm not sure I really want to do this? I mean, is it offensive to, are you a jerk, a selfish jerk for not wanting to participate in that? Because it's like this social pressure that you're a bad person if you don't participate in this stuff. And I don't know what to do. Like, not that I've cared a whole lot about social opinion in my life, but man, what do you do? So what do you think, Uni? Because let's first start with the upcoming holiday, Father's Day, and do you do it or do you not?
Well, I always tell my kids they don't have to buy me anything, but they always typically do, and we do a big thing about it. But there was a time in my life where I wanted to get away from materialism and try to, just follow principle. It just never works out. I think it's I think it's where we live, the United States. I think here it's kind of just pushed in. Every single month there's a holiday. It seems like you have to go out and buy something for it and do this song and dance. And when you told me about the stream, I'm like, I could already see that little song and dance, and it changes just a little for every holiday, but it's there.
It's always, yeah, and it's the same thing. Like Kate will go through this. I went through this with my first wife. All this stuff that like we'd be, hey man, we spend $500 on each other at Christmas. This is ridiculous. We could be doing something wonderful, and instead with the money, and we always have this talk like, okay, we're not going to get in each other anything. And then as it gets closer, all of a sudden you pick up a gift, 2 gifts, 5 gifts, and all of a sudden you have Christmas again, and you're like, damn it. Now I have to give a gift because they got me a gift, and I don't want to be that douchebag that doesn't give a gift. And that's the thing is I used to try to talk my family out of giving gifts, and there would always be that one D-bag of a brother or something that ignored it completely and got us all gifts, and then we all look bad. It was like So
yeah.
It
never works out when you tell them not to give you a gift.
No, somebody always breaks under the guilt and does it, and so that was always something. By the way, if you guys are in the comment thread, we are watching. If you want to add to some stuff like this, I'm really digging comments tonight about. I will definitely address them. It's one of these things of, do you break the norm and take the heat for not getting a gift? Does it make you a bad person? And no, I mean, obviously it doesn't. These things shouldn't be about gifts, but somehow they are. I mean, there's many times where in my past where I found myself just scrambling and buying a gift just to have a gift without any sort of real thought or effort into it. It's like, oh, a box of chocolates. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. So well, I think as I've gotten older, I give much more mature gifts. Like I really think about what to give someone if I give them something. And most of the time I don't. I'm pretty slack.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say my gift giving when it comes to holidays, anything like just Valentine's Day or Christmas, I definitely went up. I started, trying to be thoughtful, like, hey, it's the thought that counts. But then there was a little bit of pride involved, like, hey, everybody's buying good stuff. Now I'm going to. One thing we should address is like how many people go into like massive debt during Christmas and other holidays, because I know a couple, I won't say any names because they would kill me, but a couple of my family members, they spend thousands, and I was so surprised. I thought they spent hundreds, because I was never paying attention. And one time I had a discussion about it, and oh man, I'm talking a couple of my family members, thousands and thousands of dollars on Christmas. I mean, thousands. That's just foreign to me, but
yeah, I mean, gosh, this is going to sound so dated, but I was from a larger family. I had like 3 older brothers, so there's 4 kids. And when it was like someone's birthday, you got like the cheap sheet cake, or my mom would actually bake a cake sometimes. And maybe like one big gift. Like I remember getting, like a wagon or a telescope one year, something like that. But then as we got older and older, all of a sudden it was like you had to get your kid 10 gifts at Christmas, and now it's like the tree has to be buried with gifts, or they feel like their friends I guess you see your buddies posting these pictures of their Christmas tree and it's buried with gifts. You have to keep up with the Joneses. And I know my crowd that watches this don't really keep up with the Joneses. It's that y'all are strong enough, a lot of you, to say no, but who we kidding? Sometimes there's societal pressures that you just have to go along with this. And what I really remember, Uni, is I was not a gift giver. I was of hey, I'll be there for holidays, let's hang out. But when a family gets so big, you're spending $500 to $1,000 on all these damn nephews and nieces and kids, and it's just too much of a strain. And
you're right.
And I remember me and my first wife getting in a huge fight because she was like, no, we can't go without gifts. You have to bring gifts. And I was like, I don't care about that. Like sometimes you just get bullied by your spouse into doing it where you don't want to do it, but they do. And I remember, I think that's just being young, you just give in to your spouse on that one.
Oh, for sure. And One thing too is, like you said, I was going to bring up the whole social media aspect too. I cannot even. Okay, so I'm not like a Facebook guy, but I started using it a while back, and so I was so surprised to see holidays on Facebook because yeah, there's a lot of like I look at it like showing off just a little bit, you know, and of course you want to do people want to show off, but man, oh man, like you see some people and you're like, okay, they spent at least 5,000 on one kid there, you know? So
Yeah, the gifts have gotten insane. Now it has to be really cool to be able to give your kid, you know, a car or something awesome like that. But I don't know. Now it's like expected. I feel really bad for these parents because there's just so much pressure. And like you said, I haven't been on Facebook in a few years, but even when I was on it, I remember looking at Christmas, and it was literally people just putting up pictures of what they got for Christmas, like nonstop streams of look at this gift, and this is what my husband got me, and my wife got me, and it was kind of you know, a show for the Joneses, you know.
celebrity like is what I was going to say, you know?
Thank you.
Turn the
Yes.
normal family into a celebrity. They got a camera there now, you know? They're all showing off for it in a way.
Well, yeah. Dead GPK says holiday seems like a contest sometimes, and that is a problem. Is that's it's upsetting in a way because it has become much more social media oriented, and I don't know what to say about that because part of me really loves social media. You know, you can keep up with your kids and grandkids and watch, you know, videos of them and stuff like that, and you're in much better communication with your family. But part of it is, it really is this keeping up with the Joneses pressure on a whole new level. I mean, it's like in your face.
And that's the weird thing. The weirdest thing about, you know, when you take a holiday that's the person behind the holiday spoke of the opposite kind of, you know, idea, you know, spoke of giving your wealth to people who are less needy and all those little details I could add in. We all know what I'm saying, but I find it a very weird dichotomy. It's almost like, you know, it's almost like the opposite of what the principle is what it is now in a way.
Yeah, but and then there's families though that I do talk to that have absolutely gone out of their way to swing it the other direction. They're like, you know, we're gonna do one gift. We're gonna ignore all these other holidays. You know, the spouses don't do each other, and I do each other gifts, and I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing to go that radical, but it's hard because the gifts I like are the ones that are unexpected. Like if once in a while Kate will bring me home something that's just completely unexpected, and it'll be a really nice gift. But if you would ask me, okay, what did you get 2 Christmases ago? I'd have to scratch my head and really think. I'm not sure. Like, you know what I mean? They kind of all blend together. So
I fall into the category. So, you know, when I had my kids, I started to tell all my family members, you know, don't get me anything for Christmas. Of course they still do. But like, if you're going to spend money on something, make sure you spend it on the kids. You know, get me something that's
yeah,
$1 or two. So, you know,
right. As a kids, it's different. But you know, we got Vegan Warrior who's joining us, and I know he's going to have something to say. You just got to unmute, buddy. You're good to go. And
Hey
Vegan,
guys, what's up? Uni,
hey, vegan
what's
man,
up, brother?
yeah, you
get
looking
back over to
good.
my stream soon. Yeah.
Vegan's looking
Oh
sharp,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. I got to work out working that Skype. I'm not good with Skype.
Wow. So Vegan, you've raised kids
Oh yeah.
and you've gone through this. What's it like in the vegan household?
Well, years ago, I stopped playing the holiday game. I really do. I stopped playing. I look at holidays as one thing: time to spend, opportunities to spend time with people, not necessarily gifts. Gifts are one of those things that should, to your point, should be sporadic, and it should be a lot of meaning behind it. If it's also when I know someone needs something. So if my grandson, or not my grandson, my grandchildren are very young, but if my son needs something, the gift will always be something they need, not something just to be given them. You know, everything I give someone, it's with a purpose in mind, you know. But the pressure of holidays and stuff, I don't play that game at all. I don't give a damn about holidays. I
Now,
stopped playing the holiday game a long time ago.
how did your kids and wife first take that when you decided to jump off that train?
They, especially my wife, she didn't handle it at all. I mean, she didn't like it at all because she was raised differently. I was raised in a household where it was relatively, we were poor, and if you got a gift, great. If you didn't, it was what it was. So I kind of got hardened through growing up in a household like that. But I put more thought into it from a perspective of it's all a rigged game. It's all about retailers making more money. They actually plan to make more money off of holidays, and they target us. And I didn't want to be a part of that. How did my children and how did
Yeah, when they're the only kid that didn't get the Xbox at Christmas and they can't play with their friends and
well,
Dad, you're so uncool.
they might have got the Xbox before the holiday, or they may get the Xbox after the holiday. On the holiday, you get what I choose to give you, and if I choose not to give you anything, suck it up. I think after about the third or fourth year, knowing that I don't play the gift game, they got used to it, and now there's no expectation. I took away the expectation. You know, that's pretty much what I did. See, gifts and holidays are technically for children. It's not for people, not for grown people. But for some reason, there's grown people still caught up in perpetual childhood. And they expect things because that's how they were raised. I don't play that game. If I give you a gift, it's because I want to give you a gift, not because it's a holiday. You know, I usually give a gift on, let's say, their birthday. See, birthdays mean something. Everything else is, in my opinion, BS. You know, Thanksgiving is more of a coming together. You know, Christmas to me is just a complete joke. I don't participate in Christmas at all. You know, from a gift giving perspective, I see Christmas as equal to Thanksgiving. It's a day to come together.
Does your wife agree with you, or does she kind of ignore you and get gifts for the kids and anyway, and just be like, "Oh, your dad, I'm just gonna ignore my dad." You know what? Are you guys split on that? Where she still feels good about doing the gift thing, so she does it anyway?
I mean, over the years, she just kind of, if she kind of adopted my idea. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So because she got used to it.
She got used to it, and she didn't expect things. And when I did give her things, she was more appreciative than when I gave her something on outside of holidays than on holidays. Because on holidays, there's an expectation. If you give a woman in particular something just out the blue, she's going to appreciate it a lot more. You know, versus sitting back on Valentine's Day is like, okay, what is he going to give me? What is he going to give me? You know, I may give her a Valentine's Day gift on the 1st, you know, of February or in March, or I may do it every week. You know, I don't play the holiday game. I think it's destructive. I really do.
And as far as adults going, I would say the best thing I've done is I give small, thoughtful gifts randomly, instead of like, absolutely, okay, it's anniversary time, we got to buy a damn gift, you know. And that I think is a lot more fun to just get unexpected, and you know, as long as it doesn't matter what the price is, as long as it is thoughtful, and
you know,
and that's what guys don't get.
A good example is when someone's getting married. You know, there's an unwritten rule, you should give them something. But if I give something to a newly married couple, it's something that they need. And it's something I want them to have, something that's going to, you know, help them with their start. I'm not just giving shit to be giving shit. Oh, excuse me.
No, it's okay.
I'm not giving stuff out of spite. You know, I don't do that. I don't play that game at all. And the best gift in the world to give a person is money. That's my opinion. You know, especially someone who is starting out, you know, like a young person, you know, they're in college. I'm not buying no gifts for a young person in college. I'm cutting them a check. You know, a person starting out in a marriage, I'm not giving them no gift. I mean, I usually cut them a check. You know, I don't like shopping. So, and everybody that knows me know I don't do the department store shopping thing. So they can usually expect from me, if I give, it's going to be money. And it
I
makes
need
it
you
easy.
as my friend.
Yeah.
I'm just messing around. Sorry.
Well, Burma, where do you come in on this? Have you do you still do the social norm holidays, or do you ignore the holidays and do whatever you want?
I'm kind of stuck between a hard place and a rock to some degree, because the way I feel about it is that if you're going to give somebody something, I love making stuff like what's behind me, and I give people something that is from my heart. So those type of gifts, when I get those type of gifts from somebody, I'm like, man, right on. Like, you're right there in my path. But there are people, like, I know when I was a truck driver and I was poor, just like Vegan, right? You get what you get, and you be thankful that you got what you got, and that's it, you know? But I think it made me thankful if people do think of me. But Christmas, it's overrated, man. I mean, like, it's all about the Joneses, and that drives me insane. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Like, it's about the kids, but it's more about fellowship and getting together and loving one another and getting that time to spend together, because God knows most of us don't have the time to spend that time together. So that being said, yeah. I mean, but when I was a truck driver, I went and got my family. I just spent a lot. I spent a lot of money, and I was happy to spend it because I wanted to give them something that I could never give them before. But I think it's short-lived, you know?
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that. I went through that stage in life when I was making a lot of money as a chiropractor. I was like, okay, I can finally buy a good gift for my dad or something, and then really it didn't mean any more about it that it was a bigger gift at all. It's like the same.
It's almost better if you give them something that you make.
I think it was like for my ego, right? My dad got more excited about cookies we baked him than like a gift I went out and got him, you know? So it was like, I used to love getting that's the one thing I miss about being a doctor is the patients would bring in this parade of stuff they baked at Christmas time for you. And my office would just load up with all this awesome home baked pies and food and cookies and all stuff that'll kill you and give you diabetes. But it's man, that was a fun time. They'd always bring in something.
Yeah, I was like that too. Whenever I had like really high paying jobs, I would always not really, I mean, I'd buy a lot and I'd give people a lot, but it was like when I was working for next to nothing is when I would come through and, you know, go all out and get the most expensive everything. Maybe it was something I had to prove to myself. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just some sort of, hey, I'm finally not a kid anymore and I'm making a real income that I got to show everybody. You know, like there was a time in my life where I was rich, you know, and it was like really fun to be rich, and then it goes back down and you stop being rich. You know, so you get to experience it. It's a fun ride while it lasts.
Right?
Yeah,
I hear that one.
A lot of it has to do with ego. You know, it's all about
totally ego. Yeah, I was young, you know.
Yeah. And if you go from like poor to like doing pretty well, like you could walk into a store and just grab whatever you need. Oh my God, it's nice. But at the same time, I think we tend to overshop. We overbuy. And it is very ego driven.
Yeah, I remember I went from being super broke in college to all of a sudden getting, you know, these checks for 10 grand, 20 grand, making 50 grand a month as a chiropractor. And I remember getting the point where I could stroke out a check for, like, we'd go on like a $10,000 vacation and I wouldn't have to think about it. Just stroke out a check and go.
I've never been that wealthy.
Yeah, well, it was a short time. It was, you know, the first few years of practice.
There's a difference, massage therapist, doctor.
Well, it was a long time ago. I don't live like that now, because now, like, I could live almost a year on $10,000. I just looked at that and I'm just like, why the hell did I go on vacation for the money I just blew and pissed away?
Oh, no, but the vacation thing, I think, is a really good thing because you're experiencing so much.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen the world, but but the young and dumb money, I like Vegan was talking about, where these rappers make a bunch of money when they're young.
It's like MC Hammer.
And they just blow the hell out of it.
But MC Hammer actually did a lot for the people around him, I think.
Yeah, he did. He did.
So that's a little bit of a difference. He actually showed the wealth where some of them don't.
Yeah, he
And just buy
hired.
a-
He had over 100 people on his payroll at one point.
I know, right?
That's more than like Earth, Wind, and
And
Fire.
those pants, I mean, those pants had to be really expensive, you know? The old drag down MC Hammer pants. I love those things, man.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know the MC Hammer thing was all about him trusting the wrong people and people taking advantage of him. It wasn't like he wasted the money. A lot of people
No.
stole from him,
Yeah.
and you know, and he was trying to maintain it.
Doesn't
I knew
he?
somebody that
Isn't
was
he a preacher now or something? Doesn't he preach?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's not broke now. I mean, he's just normal, you know. He's making
Yeah.
6 figures a year or whatever.
Right. You probably pass him right on the street, wouldn't even know who he was. You know what I
You can
mean?
spot MC Hammer a mile away.
Was he still wearing the pants? Because I want to see those pants, man.
No, I don't think he wears the pants from the
I
90s.
love that, man. So awesome.
He's doing infomercial commercials.
You'd be
now,
walking down the
you know.
street going, oh.
No.
Sorry, Mike's dreaming.
Keep singing, Burma. Is it show
No,
us?
that's all right.
Show us
That's it.
No,
Oh,
no,
that's
you can
it.
show us
You
your
were lucky.
MC Hammer.
You were
Show us
lucky
your
that
MC
you got
Hammer.
that. If I'm in my car driving down the street and you witness it, it's okay. But otherwise, that.
No, you got to demonstrate the move or it didn't
Oh
happen.
no!
you know?
I mean, I can do it though. I can totally do it.
No, it
I used to be a
didn't
dancer
happen.
back in the day. We
Right.
got like as vegan, we got clubs around here. You know, there were a lot of places back in the day to go dancing. It's awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's all about indoctrination, Doc. You know, they indoctrinate us at a young age to think that when holidays come, we should expect a gift. And we grow up with that, and then we become adults. And when we become the providers, that same expectation is now placed on us to provide for others. And I think it's all programming, and it's part of the big indoctrination process to sell us stuff that we don't need, basically.
Well, I would think there's also a fun element in just watching these little kids go berserk, giving them, the gift they want. And I think parents, really enjoy that, but then they get stuck in a cycle of, okay, what happens when this kid's 10 and 16?
Yeah.
And you can't give them a wagon anymore. They lose their mind, or a doll.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying. And then we build this magical time around Christmas too.
Mhm.
Right? Like there's all these feel good feelings, and the holiday season's coming, and love's all around. And I kind of dig that part of Christmas. I enjoy, putting the lights up and decorating and doing all that stuff. And but I don't really enjoy the commercial part of it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's
it
gotten
sends-
out of control.
It
right?
sends a message to our children that is like really crazy when you think about it. I mean, it should be more. Well, I did this a couple years, and it wasn't popular in the beginning, but after about 4 or 5 years of doing it, I wouldn't give a gift out until my children went to the shelter, and we would feed people and we would do stuff like that. And there was no opening of gifts until that was done. So, I mean, I started using the holidays to manipulate the hell out of my children, to get them to do some community service, stuff like that. When I was into it.
It's really nice. I see Irshad's joining us. Irshad, you got your mic going?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
so.
No, cannot hear you. Sorry.
We got you. So why don't you go ahead and chime in on this? We're talking about social norms, holidays, and we haven't even really talked about all the silly traditions that we follow besides giving gifts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stuff we do around the holidays that I still don't know what the hell Easter has to do with eggs or bunnies.
I've always wondered that.
But the bunnies are
To
really
this day, I
cute.
still don't know. So Irshad, is being from the Caribbean, is there some strange social norms and stuff you guys do down there that is different than the U.S.?
Nothing I can think of. Nothing really strange. We pretty much copy Western, so
Okay.
the same thing you guys are talking about. We have the same issues. It's actually kind of funny.
So is it just as commercial in the Caribbean?
Yeah, Christmas is like probably the biggest one. It's crazy how much money people spend. Insane. And like you said, Uni was mentioning about social media. Like Christmas is the best time to go on social media and just look at what everyone's posting. It's like, yeah, measuring contest.
You
It's the
ever,
best.
you ever think about this? It's also the best time for people that are not good people to actually watch what you're getting and come to your house and take it. Oh, that person's got that. Okay, I mean, like You know, they post like when they go on vacation. Oh yeah, that's a smart
Yeah.
idea. Post when you go on vacation so everybody knows that your house is empty.
That's what I always
Not
say,
good.
especially when my family goes on vacation. I usually stay back, and they're always posting their leave, and I'm like, someone's gonna break in here one day, and I'm gonna be home, sleeping.
I had to go on to dinner with one girl, and she's tagging me in the place, and I said, "Can you please not do that?" It actually caused a
Oh
problem
God, yeah.
with me and somebody else. Like I was coming back from like a doctor's appointment, and somebody had asked me to do something, and I just thought I was out having lunch with somebody, and I was actually coming home from it. Like it's none of their business, but they post. No, no, thank you.
I don't like those tagging things, especially like someone said, but I saw you there on Instagram or Facebook.
It was like 2 weeks
Everyone
ago.
knows.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day, okay, before this is going to date me again. This is one of my terrible, terrible stories, okay? So I was in seventh grade, and we skipped school. And when we went and skipped school, this is back when you could skip school and not get, like, your parents arrested. So we would skip school, and there was some reason, there was like a mini Renaissance festival going up in town, and these knights were like jousting and stuff. And so I don't know why the hell we had wandered into this, but we got lucky and found this whole show going on for free. So we wandered in, and there's like 3 of us that skip school, and we're like cheering for the knights and having a good time. And the next damn day, right on the front of the newspaper, is us cheering. You know, like, my teacher's like,
Talk about busted.
oh, I got so busted. But what are the chances it would be in the newspaper? It was like super slim. But these days, I could imagine people getting tagged where they're not supposed to be, skipping work. Oh, doc, I'm so sick, I can't go into work, and they're getting tagged on Facebook at the ball game, and I bet it's like 1,000 times worse now because all your buddies can sell you out.
Not even that, like even with the people that work under me, like they're always like making all these excuses and saying they're busy and stuff. And then I go on social media and they're having the time of their lives. Bored at work, hashtag bored at work. It's hilarious.
But it is funny to watch those people that get busted by their bosses where they see it. And their boss is like, hashtag you're fired.
I remember
I hate my job, hashtag you're fired.
When I used to work at a school once, an admin, and I said I was sick and went to see a movie, and the person I worked for was there too in front of me. I was like, "Oh, hey, hi, nice to meet you."
Oh man,
That's terrible.
And they never spoke to me about it, which was part of me to this day.
Stuff happened back even before Facebook happened, because I wasn't supposed to. I was living in this little town, and I wasn't. My mom specifically told me I was not allowed to ride my bike down to the store. Well, my cousin was like, "She ain't ever gonna see you. Come on, let's go." As we're riding down, here comes my mom and dad's Mustang, and my mom's like, she's like pointing at me, go home. I'm like, it wasn't me. You can't tell her it wasn't you. She's seen you. It was like perfect timing. I was like, oh man, I'm so busted. Sucked. I was so young, but I was like, does it happen?
Oh, the worst is when you stay at home and then they come home and you have to hide all day.
I've never done that, but that's funny.
You've had to hide from your parents because you were sick.
Yeah, I hid in the closet all day, and no pun intended. So, yeah.
Did you have to fake an entrance, like when you knew?
Yeah, I had to leave and come back home and open up everything. Thank God we didn't have an alarm then, so they couldn't hear the doors open.
Oh man. So, all right, since Unirock, you're the one with young kids. Have you used technology to track your kids yet to see if they're telling you the truth? Like, hey, I'm going to my friend's house, and check their phone.
I've thought about it, but luckily I haven't really had too much. My son's pretty cool about telling me where he's going and stuff and being honest. But I don't know if I'll do that. I'm kind of more about privacy, but
yeah, emergencies probably.
I could see myself doing it though if I needed to.
Right.
You guys never did that crap where you're like, I'm sleeping at one friend's house, and then they see they're sleeping at your house, and then you go off all night and do something stupid. And these days, a parent could just call you up and be like, okay, Skype, put me on Skype and spin your phone around. Let's see where you're at. How do you fake that as a kid?
Man, yeah, you can't even get away with nothing nowadays.
Yeah, you'd be like,
really bad about it.
You leave your phone somewhere.
Yeah, we used to have our friends fake being someone's parents. They'd call and be like, yeah, this is Mr. Skelding, like they talk in a low voice, like the whole
I would always call and get everyone out from school sick.
Kids are so
Be like
smart
someone's
now.
mom.
Kids are so smart now. Like I just put up a green screen.
Yeah.
Green screen to their buddy's house.
Right,
Yeah.
vegan. Look at you giving them ideas.
Hey.
You're just giving them ideas, vegan.
You don't even need to be in the picture. You just post on your social media like a picture of a school book, and they think you're in school. That's it.
What's that saying about the parents nowadays? I don't know. What are you trying to say?
I
People
don't
would
know.
like notice that. I don't know. It would be hard, I think, to have a kid which was like into the social media and all that stuff. And I mean, geez, when my niece got her phone, I was cringing.
Oh yeah, and the
Are
other
there
thing
any kids
is
that
all these
aren't-
kids have every moment of everything dumb they've ever going to do in college on film forever, bro.
Documented.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we did stupid stuff, and a lot of it got in picture form, but video's so much worse.
It goes away.
Yeah, we didn't really have that much
Actually-
video back then.
I actually think the pictures are worse because people want to know how that happened, and then you hear all the different stories aside from the real one.
Hey, Doc, you know what a really weird, I don't mean to change the subject, but you said social norms. I wanted to bring up like that we blow out birthday candles. Have you thought about that as being a weird
No.
social norm?
Yeah, I have never thought about where the hell that tradition came from. Why do we light
It's kinda
candles?
weird.
Are we blowing out life? What is
That's
that?
what I thought. Yeah, blowing out a candle to signify our, how old we
Yeah.
are. It's just weird.
Another one bites the dust.
That's a good one. I never thought about. Why?
I
did we do
never thought
that?
about that one either. That'd be interesting to know, like, how that started. Good one, Uni.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm full of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Is anyone in this room under 18? Say now. I want to bring a sex topic on.
Wait a sec, Steph. Make sure Zoe has left the room, and keep it family friendly.
It's pretty friendly, but it's just weird that I always find it's weird that people don't talk about it. Like they find it cringy, but we all think the same things in our heads. That's a weird social norm, if you ask me, because I always talk about it, and everyone's like, "Whoa."
Hey, I
Stop.
got an answer. I'm sorry, I got an answer for why we blow out cakes. Why we
What's
blow
that?
candles out. For the ancient Greeks, putting candles on a cake was a special way to pay tribute to the Greek moon goddess Artemis. They baked round cakes to symbolize the moon. People may have believed that the smoke from the candles carried their wishes and prayers to God who lived in the skies.
Wow,
That's
it's that
interesting.
old? They've been
I
lighting
will never blow out candles again.
Look, the moon. The moon.
the moon god.
Right?
All right,
That's what
go
it says on the internet. Yeah.
I've got another one. Why can't a man carry a handbag without it being weird,
I was thinking the same thing the other day.
Okay, weirdos.
I
No,
was
I'm
like, I
just
wish I
joking.
could carry around a big bag with stuff.
Yeah, it's still, the merce is a big issue. Like, I guess if you wear it so it's low enough, it's called like a carrier bag or what the hell is it called?
Fanny pack.
No, not a fanny. Another social taboo, but they're awesome. I love fanny bags.
Yeah.
Oh, and sorry for you Australian people listening. That fanny's not what you think it is up here. It's a dirty word down there.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's a butt, right?
No, it's a lady part.
Okay.
it's a lady. Like I said that. Lady part.
No, but the merce, the merce is still big in Europe. I think they
Mercy
carry
is
them there.
sweet.
Yeah, that's a strange
Put on a
one.
backpack.
We cut or shot off about his dirty story.
No, I'm just curious. Like that is a weird social norm. Like you can't talk about it, but everyone thinks it. And they're like, yeah. What do you think that? What do you think that is?
You talking about sex?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
because
it
we're
is-
founded by a bunch of Puritans.
It's
That's only in
really
America.
culture.
No, even
yeah.
here,
Yes.
this is like that here too.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
you guys might be copying us because
Probably.
like you go over to Europe and man, it is not. They are so more direct about sex.
Yeah, you could say that
I mean,
again.
it's really uncomfortable.
Even
They'll
when
just
they come
straight up
here.
ask you questions, and they'll be like,
Where's waffles from? Where's waffles from?
Trinidad.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't think it's they're kind of open about sex in the Caribbean?
No.
Really?
Everyone's like
Everywhere
really
I
close.
went.
Maybe it's a millennial
Everywhere.
thing. I don't know.
The Catholic? Is
Yeah.
it heavy Catholic down there?
Mostly Hindu and Christian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Christian stuff.
That's a weird one because I don't know what and what constitutes sex, it's so weird to me that like breasts aren't offensive unless you see an areola. Like you can
You can put a little tassel right on it, and you're good to go.
And that whole double
Sorry.
standard that a man can have bigger boobs and go topless, and you know,
No, we can't.
some flat woman couldn't do that.
It's ridiculous, man. I'm a woman. I just want to free them. Not really.
Oh, I mean, I get it. I mean, it gets hot in the summer. It's got to be hell not to ever be able to take your shirt off.
You know what? Bras absolutely suck. Like, as a woman, bras suck.
They do.
Suck.
Yeah.
You can
It's the
ask
story of
any of
my
the
life.
ladies that are out there. They do. And it's not good. Like, think about it logically, right? You wear a back brace because your back hurts. You put this back brace on, but if you put it on too much, it makes all the muscles weak. So what the frick do you think a bra is doing? Same thing, same concept, right?
Right. I agree. Take off all bras.
Go back to, that's right. It'll be just like
burn
Three
to the
Company.
bras. That's right. We're gonna burn some bras.
You know what's funny is I grew up watching all the 70s shows and they were in that whole braless revolution, and so I just expected that's was my norm when I grew up with. I'm like, what happened? You know, what happened to Three's Company, Jiggle TV? And now it's like, you know.
I think that will make millennials really happy because they cannot take them off. They make it impossible.
Yeah, there are some girls that can get away with it, but they wear them anyway just because they feel more secure with them. And to be quite honest, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I understand because I wear mine, you know, and I feel uncomfortable without it because I've worn it for such a long time. It's probably like this indoctrination thing, right? You know, we're indoctrinated to feel like we have to wear them.
Yeah, Michelle from the chat says
Stop.
it's not fair. My hubby is topless all the time. And I don't bother him, but I go topless and he won't leave me alone.
I know, right? Right? Now, if we just come out and they see him all the time, it'd be no big deal, but because they never get to see him.
Yeah, well, I wonder if the African cultures where they're constantly topless, if it's like a big deal, if men
Why
still
do you think they have a lot of kids? No, I'm just joking.
chase. You know what I mean? If you grow up seeing each other's privates constantly, is it a big deal anymore, or do you still chase boobs around, or is it like?
You still probably chase them, but not probably every single time you see them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the scarcity is kind of what makes it fun. It's like
No.
like the moon coming out behind a cloud, you know.
They needed to cover them up because
Hope we get
we
a
all
new
need
get a new
more.
gift for your birthday.
That's
you
right.
mean the indigenous in Africa? I mean, you got
Yeah.
parts of Africa that's just like us.
I'm sorry, but I meant like the tribal stuff I saw on
Tribe.
National Geographic where everybody's practically naked, or on the Amazon. It doesn't have to be in Africa. I think
It's
on the
hot.
Amazon.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah,
True.
I probably wouldn't have any
It's just
clothes on
not-
either if it was that hot.
There's not all this hang-ups.
Been like that here today. Oh my goodness, the hot.
Whoa, we should stop talking about this. That cat's getting excited behind Turbo.
That is a cat porn. It's nice. All right, I'm gonna throw up another. This is probably gonna start fights, but I'm gonna bring it up. Okay, we're gonna go through this panel, and you guys are gonna tell me if you tip or not tip. Do you tip your waiters or bartenders or
Yes.
luggage or airports? Where do you stop tipping? Valets? Like,
You definitely tip a massage therapist. I'm just gonna say that.
do you? I don't.
In a
very often.
chiropractic,
I've never been tipped.
In a chiropractic, that's because you're a chiropractor. And look how much money. How much money were you making?
That
Okay,
was
thank
way
you
back.
very
But
much.
ask me how much I was spending.
Well, that's your fault. That's not their fault. I'm just
You know,
saying.
how much
yes,
do you
if
make when you spend 40,000 and make 50? You know,
I
not
guess
not
it
that
depends
much.
on the amount. I mean,
Goes right out
really.
the door.
Only time I
I'm a
don't
tipper.
tip is when I don't have money at all. Like I open my wallet and I'm like, okay, this is sad.
So there goes the moth.
Yeah. I would give you my wallet if I could, but I can't.
Yeah, I don't know who to tip and who not to anymore. There's so many things to tip now. And especially like if you go to a city or something, I'm completely lost. I assume you tip a valet, right?
Yeah.
You tip anyone that helps you with luggage.
I tip everybody.
Most service industries.
I guess
No, I
those
would
people that
say.
open the doors, I haven't really.
But there's a lot of cultures here in the U.S. that do not tip. I mean, I worked as a bartender and a waiter for years, and you know, there are certain.
No, you
There
should
was-
always tip those people.
There was,
Always.
yeah, but they don't believe that. There were Europeans that would come in and not tip you, or Canadians that would come down and not tip. You know, those sort of people.
Did you explain it to him?
Not really. I mean,
like,
yeah,
you're in America. You need to tip.
That's right.
I
That's a great
remember
sign. You guys should print that.
walking up
Absolutely.
and saying, "Did I give you bad service?" I noticed that there was no gratuity, and they were just like. So what eventually had to happen is I just talked to my boss and I said, anyone that looks foreign, I'm sticking the tip on the bill. And I'm sure it was probably
That's why they
illegal.
started. That's why they started doing the over a certain amount of money, automatically gratuities already added to it. Because I
Yeah.
can't tell you, of course, I told you I'm the jack of all trades. So when I was very young, I did waitressing. And I cannot tell you how I've worked on a table of 10 people and they leave you change. And my service was really good. I treat people how I want to be treated when I go into a place. And I've always done that. But they leave you change. I just want to go and punch each one of them in the back of the head.
My friends are those jerks.
In a nice way.
I will always leave like an awesome tip if 10 of us go out, and then my friends won't leave any, and they're like, "Oh, well, you left a tip," and I'm like, "Dude, I left a tip for me. You need to go leave your own tip." Nah. It's like that's such a jerk thing to do. So if you're that jerk out there that rides off your friend's tips, stop.
Knock it off.
Don't write a tip.
People live on that. I mean, actually, waitresses, it's really sad, but they don't make hardly any money. I mean, their actual amount that they make per hour is less than.
Yeah, I was making $2.12.
Yeah, $2 and some dollar. I mean, that's
And then
ridiculous.
what happens is you have at least an hour prep work where you're rolling silverware for $2 an hour, and then you have another probably hour and a half to 2 hours of closing where you're sweeping for $2 an hour and cleaning dishes for $2 an hour. It's BS, man. It was but it was the only job you could get when you were young, where I was at.
Me too.
Yeah. So what is a good tip? What is a bad tip, guys?
Oh
Depends.
man.
Somebody leaving a little piece of paper with some freaking stuff on is a bad tip. The sky's falling. No, I'm just joking.
I guess it depends.
I say 20%.
I say 22.
Wow. So that's now what cultures have you talked to other cultures that come in and they're just shocked by that? Because like nothing in America costs what it costs. Like if you get a $20 meal, now you're talking about $25. I mean, and then taxes and all that junk.
Well, I think as Americans, we factor that in when we go out. So if I buy a $20 plate of food or something, in my mind, I'm thinking the whole experience is going to cost me $25. So I don't look at their price. I look at the price plus 20%.
Yeah, give
That's
or
how I
take
do.
that service.
When I buy food in America, I'm like, only $20? Because it's like 701 here, our money. It's like one US is $7 here. So it's like everything's super cheap for me. I buy a ton of food.
I want to go there.
I mean, and if you look at 20% of $20, that's nothing but $4. So you add $4 to the bill. That's nothing.
Yeah.
So
Tax.
I look at it as you should always tip, and when you have an exceptional experience, you should add on top of that 20%.
Yeah.
So
That's for
if
sure.
if this person serviced 10 people, I may not go 20% around the table. I'll do a hefty 20% of the bill, and then if I think they did exceptionally well, I may even go up to 30, 40%. And that's pretty much my tip. That's the way I do it. That's another indoctrinated scam as well. It's just like Christmas. Why won't the employers pay these people what they're worth? Why even have the tip game?
Part of me likes it.
They kind of pass that burden on the consumer.
Part of me likes it because it makes your servers interested in actually serving you. Like if I got paid the same for every person, I think the quality would go down. I kind of dig that you give them feedback, but I also get annoyed that nothing's ever what it costs. It's always more.
See, the problem with that, Doc, is it may be jumping. They may be making great tips on a Saturday night, but on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're not making anything because the traffic is slow. So now these people have to be dedicated to the popular nights just to make a living. It's not like they're making great tips 7 days a week or 5 days a week. They may make great tips only 1 or 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Either
you
way,
gotta be You have some seniority to even get those shifts.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a bartender, all I got was the crappy afternoon shifts. Only the hot girls got like the night shifts.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. So either way, I see it as a form of, modern day slavery, in my opinion.
Voluntary slavery. You still take the job.
Yeah, but some people are limited to their options. So it's like either I just don't do nothing, or I try to do something and make very little.
And data junkie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nobody wants to be poor. You know what I mean? And I think if there's no opportunity to have a decent wage, it's still a form of slavery, in my opinion, or modern day slavery.
Yeah, I mean, I want to also bring up something from the comments. Data Junkie says, if you don't tip, the IRS still taxes you and assume the income that you're getting billed for serving you. So, in other words, if you're a waiter and you get stiffed on the tip, the IRS assumes you just pocketed it and charges you anyway, tax on it.
Absolutely.
So they're jerks. IRS is such jerks. I said it. It's such a mean thing to do.
The stream shuts down.
There it goes. All of a sudden, everything just blows up. It just makes me so mad that you get taxed on stuff you never even got. All right. So, what other social norms am I forgetting, guys? Because I know there's a bunch of weird stuff out there you guys want to talk about.
Well, I had one written down. If I could find it, hold on.
I don't know if it's a social norm, but one thing that pisses me off is people that don't use their indicators when they're driving. But
Me too. Don't get me started.
I hate that.
That's a lack of consideration.
I always say
I'm turning
something
in the
like,
right only
I
lane.
guess they didn't have that option on that your car, I say, or something like that. Because it's true. I mean, here it's bad. It's the driving around here. People,
It's dangerous, man. I mean, signals keep you alive. I drove a motorcycle for a while, man, and if you didn't signal, you that'll cure you of that habit real quick. Go drive a motorcycle.
You know what's kind of a strange norm? I don't know if it's a norm. Some people, it's a norm for some people. When someone's chewing gum when you talk to them, does that bother anyone but me? You know what I'm saying? I know it's strange. I'm sorry. It bothers the hell out of me.
Hey, Doc, I got one that's really controversial.
Go ahead.
Oh, here we go.
Circumcision.
Oh,
that's a good one.
No,
That's
it's
a really good one.
definitely fair game because it is a social norm. And if you ask people why they do it, they just do it so they'll look like daddy. They don't really think it through. They just do it.
Yeah.
Just kind of what you do.
I just went through that with my grandchildren, and both are two boys. And I was like, why are we getting them circumcised? They were like, oh, we have to get them circumcised. It's gonna be harder to clean it, and all types of ridiculous stuff I heard. And I was like, I'm not gonna fight that battle, and I just walked away.
It's better for them to keep it, to be quite honest. I mean, and it's not that hard if they learned how to clean it and everything. And when they cut it, they could cut too much skin away. You know what I mean? Like, I feel bad for you dudes. You know what I mean? They're like, clip when you're little.
This is something they never tell you is the highest percentage of nerve endings in the body is in the foreskin. So when you just cut that off, you are taking away the most pleasurable piece of skin for the man. So they never even knew about it.
I think they did that shit on purpose.
It has for per square inch, it is the most dense nerve endings in a tissue, and you're immediately cutting that off, and you're sending like, hey, welcome to the world, and we're going to take your most sensitive piece of tissue and cut it. What kind of neurological pathway does that blow open? Of how many problems does that cause with
probably what's wrong with
pain? We do it like we're going to a tea party. Like, oh, let's get everybody together and celebrate, and we're gonna cut this thing off. And it's like,
it's terrible.
It's terrible. It's such a social norm that's so unnecessary, and you're taking away a lot of pleasure for that human, and you're making that decision for them when If they want to be circumcised, let them decide when they're adults. They can
Think
do it.
about it on like a bigger level, that when that kid, even though that child was a baby, right? That what happens, right, is traumatic, right? Deep-seated trauma. It has to be trauma. Even if it's a baby, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're always like, oh, babies don't feel it. And you're like, really? Why is it screaming and turning bright red and crying? Oh, it'll be
Because it
fine in a
doesn't
few
feel
minutes.
it, you know?
Recently people have sued
Your
their
most-
parents for that.
Oh my
Really?
God.
Yeah, because I was there, right, and they've won.
It is kind of, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a completely unnecessary surgery.
It's
I'm sorry
mutilation.
you have to clean the foreskin, and sorry a piece of skin is a little inconvenient for you. You know, a little full. Geez. Other than that, I mean,
It's
Yeah,
so
I
bad
tried
for
to
you
put
guys.
up a fight. I tried to put up a fight for my grandson. And the crazy part is I'm not I'm circumcised, so I don't know about the pleasure part and any of that, but it just doesn't seem right, you know? And I did it with my son, but I learned more about it since then. So when my grandson was born, I'm kind of trying to convince my son and my daughter not to circumcise my grandchildren. But because I did it to them, they don't understand why it's important to not do it. So I couldn't convince them because I made the mistake by doing it to my son, you know, and it's
yeah, because you don't think about it then. They're just like, it's just part of being born. You put them through this,
right.
you know, go get your shots, go get your social security number and get your get your penis checked. Sorry
You're
about that.
Richard. You mean you're
Richard
Richard.
Chef.
I mean,
Yes.
really, that's a proper word for it. It's not using it in the wrong
It's-
context.
It's on the borderline, but I can get away with it.
He
It was
didn't
in a
want anyone to know his
medical-
pet
Right, it
name.
wasn't offending me.
It was part of a medical explanation.
That's just his nickname, guys. He's trying to
Everybody
hide it.
slipped. This is just that kind of night. I'm just asking because everybody seems to be slipping tonight.
No pun intended.
No, it is.
I got-
It's a legit point, and it is a social
Yeah.
norm. I mean, period. It is a religious or social norm that they do, and most people that do it are not even religious that do it. They're not like, it's not like the U.S. has this many Jewish people that they do it. They just do it because daddy's circumcised, and you know, you got to look like daddy, and that's you know, and dear God, there's always this talk, this fear of, well, what about his friends in the locker room? Do you know how many people saw me naked in the locker room? Never. It never happened. Guys don't sit there and wave it at each other in the locker room. It's not the movie.
That's what I thought was going on.
No.
Nah, that's
We have
not cool.
shower stalls.
You got the weirdos that do that.
You know, it's not the 1950s where they make everybody strip down and go to the pool anymore. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's not Disney World.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I've never been there.
there's all these like horror stories of, well, I don't want them to look different and get teased, and it's like,
Nah.
okay, well, just cut off this. Really, you know, I'm sorry, I'm from the old school where I don't believe God makes spare parts. You don't just take stuff
I
out.
totally agree. I totally agree now.
You know,
Took me years to get to that opinion. I got another one for you if you guys are interested. Why is it that probably, and you correct me if you guys think I'm wrong, 30 and below, what is the fascination with tattoos? It's like everybody's tatted up. I don't get it.
Burma, you want this one?
Yeah.
I don't know about 30-year-olds. I
over
have no
30.
idea. I mean, like, I started getting mine when I was in my 30s, but mine are
I knew like two people with a tattoo when I was a kid, and they all, like, everybody's got them.
Yeah, I think it's becoming that thing, like the piercing thing, and it's more accepted now than it ever has been. I mean, at one time it was all about bikers and having tattoos, so that's what everybody thinks I am. They look at my tattoos and they think I'm a biker, and I'm like, listen, I'm not a biker just because I have tattoos. They're all like very art driven. They say they tell a story about me, you know, and I love art, so I like to put it on me. But for other people, it could be, I don't know. Sometimes people have a lot of different things on them, and it's their choice and it's their body. So I guess I'm all for it. I love tattoos. I have 10. I love them.
I only have the one, but I want, after I got the one, I want more now.
But they are addictive. Once you get one, they're addictive.
They
And
hurt
it's-
though.
They don't.
They
It
do.
depends. It
hurt.
depends. Depends on where they're at.
I'm not willing to lie about it. It hurts.
Where do you have yours though? Because not all mine hurt.
My arms and my chest and
So here,
a few other
like
places.
like in this kind of an area, and this hurt for you.
It hurt really bad right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will say that this was tolerable until I got to the elbow. My back though, the big piece on my back, he was like, meh, and I'm already wanting to tap out because his back was terrible.
Yeah.
The reason
I mean,
I got that.
it's
I
fine.
got that Indian slave skin, so it's thick. It doesn't hurt at all.
See, the reason I brought that up is because it's actually a new phenomenon. It's like, what, since maybe the 90s? You know, it became the thing to do. Prior to the 90s, nobody was tattooing themselves unless you was a damn seller or something.
Yeah, and
You were in the
it was like
military,
a
or you was a
total
biker.
act of rebellion back then to have a tattoo.
Jail tattoos were big too.
And
Yeah.
and now it's gone complete opposite. It is an act of rebellion not to have a tattoo. I'm the only guy I know that doesn't have any tattoos.
Me too. Well, you know me.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
have one. Yeah.
Like my sister is younger than me, and she has a ton of piercings. And for her, it's like that's what her idols do. So you know, she wants to do it too.
Whoa.
Sorry.
What the hell do you know at 18 years old getting a tattoo? I would be like, this thing is so stupid. I hate this thing when I'm 22. I would have gotten the dumbest tattoos at 18.
Oh, well, she got it. She got it over here on her fingers, so you can't miss it.
Yeah, I would have done some sort of horribly comic art tattoo that, like my friend has. This is a perfect example. I went to school in the 90s, and he got Darkwing Duck with a lacrosse stick playing lacrosse. And I'm like, how you feel about that 5 years later, buddy? You know, Darkwing Duck, it's pretty tough right there. Nobody even knows who that is. You know, it's like...
I never liked that cartoon. I hated that cartoon.
It just makes me just laugh. That like,
I've got a weird
just
social
no way
norm.
I would hate it after...
You may change the subject or
No. I'm just saying. I understand. Like someone Burma's age, she's kind of figured it out. She probably knows what she's getting. But at 18, man, I would be like embarrassed of my tattoos probably by the time I was 5 years later.
No, I don't think
I
that
don't like mine. I don't like this one.
You don't. I think that one's cool actually.
I mean, it was just that I wanted to do like a whole thing, and then I stopped. So I was like, man, it doesn't make sense now. But it had a whole bunch of stuff to
You
it.
could add things to it that would make sense to it now.
At least you didn't.
I need to.
You know, and
Yeah.
embrace that. I mean, not tattoos are not for everybody. But Vegan,
least
I
you
do
didn't get the
understand.
barbed
I
wire.
understand what you're saying because, like, I'm an art person. I love tattoos. I knew biker guys back in the day. Like, that's. I mean, even though I'm not a biker chick, it's, you know, I get it. And now everybody and their mother's getting one. You know.
Yeah, everybody got tattoos now.
You know,
I never
so maybe
even
we're
wanted
trying
one.
to make it the norm, just like the piercings. You know, I mean, I worked for a blood bank one time, and I got my tongue pierced, and they had nothing in documentation that stated that I couldn't have that. I had my belly button done and a couple other piercings, but I come into the office, and she said, "Well, I think you either take it out or we'll have to let you go." In my mouth with flesh-colored balls that were very short, you couldn't even tell. Like, really? Like, wait, my tongue is totally
I'm
gonna
so
mess up
Yeah,
dirty
fresh colored
minded.
ball.
with a freaking needle. What does my tongue have to do with my freaking job?
Well,
You know
there's
what
a
I mean?
professionalism. I mean, I know. I wouldn't
Look
let.
at that.
Being not
wouldn't let-
professional.
Are you kidding? I would have fired you if you'd come to my office with a tackle box on your face. So you would
Look,
have been.
dude, look. Do I look like a tackle box right now?
No, but I'm saying there is an act of
Okay,
professionalism
then.
because you're representing a
So
doctor.
there is, but if
I
they
wouldn't be
have
cool with that.
they have nothing in the books about it, they cannot. It's not right for them to discriminate. Just like
Someone
it's
in
not
the
right
chat-
for them to discriminate about what I got on my arms, right? It
Someone
doesn't
in the
make
chat
me.
says, I have
What's
tattoos on my
Dress code
penis.
thing. I mean, that goes into a dress code, I guess. If it's visible.
No, I got these.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll
it's-
tell you,
it's-
it hasn't stopped me from getting any jobs.
Well, that's good. I mean, you just got to find an employer cool with it. But I'm always going to go with the libertarian business owner. I mean, you're not going to come into my business and tell me what I have to do and what I don't, and I have to hire you. I mean,
I didn't say you had to hire
yeah,
me.
you did.
know
You'd
what
be
I mean?
like, hey,
No, I
you don't
just
like.
said,
You're
no,
going to take
I'm
me with
working at-
tattoos and.
I'm
and
working at a place
piercings
and I get something done in my own mouth, and they're gonna fire me for it.
You have to. Yeah, it's the employer's business. It's not your business.
I know, I understand that, but it doesn't.
It's,
Okay.
You don't want
It-
a representative
it-
having a tongue ring.
Let
I
me
mean,
ask
come on.
this: what about those guys that wear the gold grills? Do you think they should be able to wear that to work?
I
No.
think that if that person's a nice person, I mean, it is up to the business owner. I'm not
It's a
saying that
business
it's
owner.
not.
I mean, some
okay?
business guys will be fine with it. If it's a bar,
If it was this here, I would understand, because it is visible. My tongue was not visible, nor did I play with it. So I feel that it's
Well, how did
not
they
really.
know you had it?
What's that?
How did they know you had a tongue ring?
Oh, because I went to a high school blood drive that somebody actually seen it, because none of the girls that I worked with, nobody seen it. Because at the time that I got it done, I was in my early 20s. So it wasn't even a thing then. It wasn't something that everybody was doing.
Back then, yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like this norm like it is now with the tattoos and stuff like that. So,
But it's still, even
Well,
if it's
Burma, for the
more now,
record, we're not
you guys know
dissing.
that
We're
I
not
have my tongue.
dissing.
You guys
We're
know
not
that I have my
dissing.
tongue pierced?
We're not dissing your tattoos.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I
don't
just
care.
brought it up because there was an upsurge of this occurring in the 90s, and it took a, honestly, in the black community, I think it had a lot to do with Allen Iverson. It was like the braids and the tattoos and all that, and all of a sudden it seemed like black guys and I'm just talking about black guys, all ran to the tattoo shops after seeing people like Allen Iverson. A lot of pop people started making tattoos and cornrows and gold teeth and all that stuff popular. And you can target it right around the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
And now it's like everybody gets it. I told my son he couldn't have tattoos until he turned 18. The day he turned 18, he ran out and got a tattoo. And I'm like, really? And now he has tattoos up and down his arms, and he's mad when he can't find a job. And I'm like, dude,
Yep.
you
But the middle ground everyone's missing is it's not even like who you choose to hire or the fact that you have tattoos, is that society has made a really bad stigma around those things anyways, for some reason.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people
sorry.
accept it too. A lot of
Yeah.
people accept it too.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want. I don't know. I would if
But
I was
why?
sitting here going to a doctor and they had a neck tattoo. It would really make me think twice about. Okay, I just immediately have a stigma against it.
Yeah.
But what about if you
but
grew up?
don't
If you grew up thinking it was fine?
You just
Like,
I
gotta.
guess. I mean,
Don't
if you were
Yeah.
if you were
Yeah.
Maori or something,
I mean, once again, it's an indoctrination.
it's
Yeah.
it's totally a stigma that I learned. I mean, I actually broke up
Yeah.
with a girl because she had one of those stupid arm tattoos, the barbed wire thing. I couldn't stop laughing at this thing.
I would never have that.
It became such a problem that we just had to end our
Barbed wire
relationship.
around the arm thing.
The barbed wire tattoo. I was like,
Oh.
come on, man, what are you, like a frat boy? What is this?
I know
She
this
was-
dude that
She
played
was
football.
so bad.
In the
He got a paper
military,
on his back called it was supposed to say Archangel, but the guy spelled it wrong and it says Archangle. And he still hasn't got it right.
What were you saying about the military? Everybody had those arm tattoos.
oh no, I was gonna say it's actually illegal in the Uniform Code of Military Justice to get a tattoo after you've signed up for the military until you are released,
Wow.
because you're defacing the
Government
Their
property.
property.
Now, I don't think they enforce that because, like, I
You
don't.
can
No,
you
no.
can get written consent to get one.
Well, I remember there was a time that they wouldn't even take you in the military if you had a tattoo, and now they've kind of like
Well, look
Yeah, I
what.
do.
lowered their
I'm
standards.
never going to the military.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad.
No, it's
Yeah.
a new. I
Burma-
mean, it's a new
Burma-
generation. It's not the same as what it used to be. These
Absolutely.
stigmas are really need to be. And I mean, granted, I'm older than the new generations coming in and doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in my 40s. I've wanted tattoos a very long time, but I waited because I wanted things that denoted who I was as a person and not to change in 10, 15 years, right? You know, if you get them when you're real young, what you think then, it's going to totally change by the time you get in your 40s. You're going to learn new things, you're going to grow. And by the time you get in your 40s, you start getting a little more set in who you are. And I think then it's okay. Maybe you want to get a little flower or something. I was going to go with something big when I was 22. I was going to get this huge dragon coming through these clouds on my leg. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad the guy talked me out of it because I changed, right? So I waited till I got older. So now I'm good with what I got. And if people
That's
like
cool,
them, they
yeah.
like them. And if they don't, it's okay too. I get people staring at me like crazy. And it's all right. You want to stare? Go ahead, stare away. Click a picture, whatever. Go on your way.
I
Rachel.
want to get a Mike Tyson.
That's right. That's awesome.
Yeah. My girlfriend has a giant zombie
That looks
face on her
ridiculous.
leg. Like, covers her whole leg. It's a face of a zombie. A girl zombie, like a chick zombie.
But hey, have you ever heard of little kids being scared of their parents' tattoos? Like,
Yeah.
I was watching Tattoo Nightmares, and it's a show where they like redo really bad tattoos, and I love bad tattoos. I'm sorry, I do. They're just
Yeah.
Me
hilarious.
too.
And this guy came in, was like, I have this devil on my shin, and my little girl won't come near me. like scared to death that this thing's alive.
Wonder
So you
why.
can like get it covered. This is a scary damn zombie on your leg. What do you mean why? She's 2. She's, you know.
Right. You have 2 kids that are totally different. You have the kids that stare at you like, oh, and then you have the ones that look intrigued by what's on. So you almost know that that child has grown up with people that have tattoos, you know. But I mean, they've been doing tattoos. Granted, it's more the norm now, but they've been doing it back in tribal days and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, sometimes it's a rite of passage.
I get the spiritual tattoos, but what is a butterfly on an ankle a spiritual tattoo? I mean,
maybe it's about the person transforming.
Tramp stamp.
Yeah.
No, I mean it really depends on the person's perspective. I have a butterfly, right?
Oh no, do you have a
Not a
butterfly on your
tramp
ankle? No.
Tramp stamps. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's
no.
why, you know what, guys? That's why I
put-
never got one of those. All
I
because
put
of that.
my foot in my
Why?
mouth.
That's cool.
Well, I don't bend over, my butt hanging out either. So I mean, like, you know. I
Well,
guess
what
it wouldn't
about
really-
guys? What about guys getting?
A tramp stamp? No, I don't. That's not
Tongue
mine.
ring.
That was on Nightmares.
Yeah, that was on tattoo. Some girl, I saw that one. Some girl talked to her boyfriend into getting one,
And
then
then
she
left
broke up with him. Yeah, that's even worse.
That's funny.
Story ever.
Now, Vegan, what'd you say?
I said, what about guys with tongue rings and all that stuff? I see a lot of that now.
My ex-husband had one.
I had that done. Labre.
That was kind of nice.
We'll tell
It
you,
looked fine.
Kate, you know, Kate's a dental hygienist, and she told me that is one of the absolute quickest ways to get dentures. She says that like tongue rings just destroy the back of your teeth.
Labres do the front too.
Yeah, that she was
It
like.
depends
you
on
know,
how much you're
it's
playing
so
with
fa-
it and what.
It wears out so fast.
And what if it's plastic? I have plastic. I don't have metal for my balls.
Yeah.
For my balls. And
That's what she said.
so,
This is
and
not
but you
fair.
again,
Burma-
I have like a very short bar. Okay, very short bar so that it doesn't clang around. You know, I hate that, and I don't like when people play with it either. It's in there, and if I take it out, I feel like I'm naked. I feel like it's such a part of me now since I've had it since I was 22. I can't even take it out anymore. It's not even right. So.
My friend Brandon had his labre done, you know, his chin area, and he could, when he would swim, he'd pop his head up and push water through it, and it would be like a fountain. I'm not joking, because he stretched it out so much.
Well, I saw. That's another thing. I remember saying this teenage girl that wanted a tattoo that played rugby for me. Sorry, not tattoo, a face piercing. And if you've ever seen, some people do not recover well. They have these like big holes in their cheeks that just never heal. And I'm like, you know, you might want this piercing for 6 months, but you're gonna have this hole in your face for the rest of your life. And they, you know, they don't even think it through. They're like, oh, it'll close, and
they're called dermals. They're called
I know
dermal
several
piercings.
people that have done that.
I never understood the guys or the girls with the big earrings and they put the discs in their ears. I
the
never
gauges.
understood that.
Yeah, they gauge
I never
them.
understood that.
I mean, gauging something like what this one is here is nice because the cartilage, it doesn't heal right up here. So if you gauge it, a bigger gauge here is awesome. But I wouldn't go any bigger than what that is. I personally would never want that.
Is there a meaning to it, or is it just fashionable? Or
I guess it would be fashionable. I mean, there have been tribes that have done the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
bigger, as big as they possibly can go.
right?
Oh, that kid's so cute. Look at the cute little kitten.
This is the one that was born on my lap a couple streams ago.
Aww.
Say hi, Linder. Say hey.
oh, he's getting big.
Oh, he's so
Yeah.
cute. Look at that little weight on his face.
She
Hold
knocks
back.
my mouse off of my stand the whole show. She's been knocking my mouse off.
That's hilarious.
Okay, here's a weird one. Not to change the subject, but
Okay.
you know this norm of answering a ringing or when your tablet or your phone or anything that rings, it's like a norm to answer it. Like my friends will say, "Are you going to answer that?" "Oh, someone texted you," and I'm like, "I don't care." I'm like the type of person where I wait to look, and I know a lot of people think they have to rush to answer. It's a weird norm.
Or they break their neck trying to run for the
That's
phone.
an excellent. I want to take that even a little further. is it rude to call someone? Because there was a time when we grew up that calling was all you had. And I remember when texting first came out, people would text and I'd be like, why the hell are you texting me, man? Call me. This is so stupid. And then, 15 years goes by and now I'm like, why are you calling me? Text me. It's completely opposite. I'm like, don't bother me with a phone call. Because no matter what you do, when you call someone, you're interrupting them and they have to stop what they're doing to talk to you and focus on you. So is it considered, have we gotten to the point where it is flip-flopped so much that it is bad manners to call someone?
It depends.
Yeah.
If you call me on a phone, okay, but don't call me from a free service. That makes me feel bad. I'm not even worth your money.
Like you talk about like
Call me on
Skype.
Wi-Fi.
If somebody Skypes you.
Yeah, like for something important, like you call me on Skype and I have a phone.
Well, I think that the etiquette now is you send a text first saying, hey, can you talk and take a phone call? You don't just call because they could be in the middle of something.
I got a buddy that won't even talk on the phone. He should just pay for texting. I don't know why he has unlimited minutes. He will flip out if you call him. He'll text you back as soon as it's done ringing and say, dude, text me. I'm like,
Yeah, but you know what the problem with this is that if you, like, I always text people before I call them. I try to always ask them if they have the time, because absolutely people can be busy. But they'll be like, text you, but what you have to say is like, you got to text this long.
Yeah.
And it takes 5 seconds to say what you have to say and get on with your life, instead of like a text message that you're sitting there doing this with your thumbs for an hour.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, this is a message to everyone out there. If you ever message me, type a whole paragraph, not 10 small messages, please. Bing, 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 bing.
That's fun. That's irritating you then.
The voice to text works pretty good. You hit that button, you can say your paragraph and let it roll. It solves that problem. Because my problem is, one, I don't want to hear the phone ring when I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes it interrupts, and I forget the ringer's on. And the other thing is, I almost never use my damn phone. So if you text me or call me, it'll be days before I even know you did. Like, I don't pick it up all the time.
I'm like that too.
I like the voice messages too.
I do have one more that's in that same line. So when I drive, I don't look at my phone at all. And I notice people driving and texting constantly, especially here in the Northeast, which is so dangerous.
I don't.
But them expecting you to answer the call, I'm like, listen, I was driving. Don't be upset that I didn't get back to you right away. That I can't, what I like the days when the phone was at home and then they'd be like, well, where were you? Well, it's none of your dang business where I was. You know what I mean? Like, so nowadays we're sitting there carrying these things all the time. So everybody thinks that you can get a hold of them exactly when, and sometimes you're busy.
How much did you get paid to show that phone?
Yeah. I did. Wait, damn.
It's a complex now. People
Give me a new one.
They think you should answer if they call you just because you have a cell phone. And I'm always explaining this to people, and I get I don't like talking about it anymore. When someone calls, I'll leave it alone because I'll get a little upset talking about it. But it's like, there was a time called the 90s where we didn't have cell phones and you didn't have to answer the phone. And if you did talk to someone on the phone, it was like making an appointment to do so almost. And now it's like, some of my friends will call and be like, or my dad, he'll call me and say, why didn't you answer the phone? Or an immediate text, why didn't you answer the phone? And they get mad. And I'm like, hey, chill, man. I don't have to answer this thing,
Oh, you know what? You know what's the problem to a texting these days? It says delivered or read, or it notifies you that they're ready.
Yeah,
I hate that so much. Oh yeah.
The other thing, because that's another. We're gonna talk about the social norm is how long do you take to reply? But there was a time where I decided not to have a phone for about 8 months. I think I was between contracts and I was screwed up. One of my phones died and I didn't want to. So I just didn't have a phone for 8 months, and people lost their damn mind that they could not, text me. My wife at the time was like, what happens if I need you or it's an emergency? And I'm like, well, what do we do in the 90s? What do we do in the 80s? You find a phone and call. It's not that hard. And man, you would think you watch people really get upset. And I think there's actually a pushback now of people that don't use voice at all anymore, like your friend who only texts. So they're like, what do I need a phone for?
Yeah.
They just don't have it anymore.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad we moved on from the rotary, because that used to drive me insane.
I love
You
that.
messed it up. One. Oh man,
It
I got
was
to
an
start
art
over
form.
again. One. Two. You know what I mean?
If I'm
So
driving,
we had to move
I'll
on
probably
from
set
that. You're
voice
right.
notes.
I
The
like the
kids
sound that
watching
it made.
don't know what you're talking about, by the way. They're like,
I'm sorry.
what? A rotary? No, I'm just playing. They probably
Right. Well, some of them don't.
what-
If they were born like in the 90s sometime or something like that, then they might not have ever seen a rotary phone.
Well, all
or
right,
a phone with a cord.
The phone with the right where you could choke yourself with that.
there's just a big knot of cords after a while. This tangled mess. What is the etiquette for responding? Okay, Unirock sends me something. It says it's red. At what point should he start getting ticked off if I don't
The
reply?
next day.
Yeah, I
Give
think
them a
24 hours
24-hour
is pretty
grace?
standard.
24 hours, I think. Yeah. I think that's like cordial. I mean, like, you can't help it if you're busy a day. And if you get back to them, you could just say, oh, I'm sorry.
Sometimes-
I had so much going on that
Yeah.
whatever,
I'll get like a huge 2 or 3 paragraph email from people that want me to respond to every point, and I'm like,
Well, I'm starting to really get mad about it, Taryn, and you should just respond to me like right away. No, I'm just
You're right,
I like
Taryn.
small
You're
chunks,
right, though.
small chunks of information, not big paragraphs.
Before I was a YouTuber, YouTubing changed everything for me because I was like, my cell phone was like never really with me that much. I didn't get back on text messages right away. Once I became a YouTuber, I'm getting emails and comments and Skype messages, all this stuff all the time. And people get really mad. Like I've had people get super offended that I don't answer, specific points of messages. And it's like, man, how many hours do I have to spend, reading my emails? It's really hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Finding a balance.
well, that I would imagine because of look at how much you guys have to read and go through. You know what I mean? If you're constantly
Yeah.
getting emails and things like that, it's not like me where I could be like, oh, emails, oh, wait, delete it all. There's nothing there for me. It's all advertisement.
It's tough because they go through all this work and they write these intelligent questions out, and I want to answer each one, but it's a lot to answer
Yeah.
each one. I mean, it's really time
Time
consuming.
consuming, yeah.
You
Um,
want to put
Oh.
effort in it.
You know what? Which one pisses me off? Like they'll say, like, I have to talk to you about something, but if you don't reply for hours, you have to wait till you respond, then to find out what it is, and then continue the conversation. Like,
They're like
just
that.
send it to me immediately, please, and I'll respond. Yeah.
Yeah. Rusty in the chat room says that one of the pet peeves he has is people who talk on the cell phone in public, like as they're
Okay.
walking around,
Oh yeah, man.
like they'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
shopping or something, and they're just blasting away, and
Like in the big phones.
With a
and I'm just-
personal ass conversation too.
yeah, like yeah, it'll always be something you shouldn't be hearing.
hmm
Oh, it's funny you say that. For my party, actually, there was this girl that came 7 hours. This girl stayed on her phone in a corner crying. I don't know why. Like her boyfriend didn't come or something. She did that at a party at my house. It was the craziest thing.
Enjoy the party.
Yeah, she stayed there the entire night. She slept away, woke back up. I saw her like this with the phone texting, dropped it on her face. She's like,
It's turned into a weird thing. It really has.
Yeah, because back in the day, I remember the wallflowers. You'd go to a club and there would be wallflowers that wouldn't talk to anyone. But now they have a phone they can hide behind and act like,
why are you going there?
why even go to a club if, all right, like why to go something if you don't want to meet people?
And you got to bring up the people that you have an entire 9-person family and they're sitting there and all of them have a cell phone and a tablet.
And they're messaging each other.
Yeah, they are. Well, or who knows what, they're just not even talking to each other, It's
So I've seen them talk to each other and send each other cool pictures. Like, oh, I mean, like you're right there, you can see it.
I have a good one. Oh my gosh, I have a good one. Have you ever seen somebody who goes and sits down at the table at a restaurant and they're on their phone and the waitress comes up 6 times and she's finally like, sir, would you like to order? And then they get mad. They're like, I'm on the phone. It's like, dude, you're at a restaurant. You just sat down. You got to order something, I've seen
Yeah, that's really rude too, where they make the waiters wait. That's messed up.
Or you could have 2 people going to lunch together, and one's sitting there on their phone, and you're sitting there with them, and they're just on their phone. And I had a situation like that, and I told my friend, I was like, man, if you want to go hang out with that person you're texting, by all means, go hang out with them, because you sitting here across with your head down in that phone when it's not important is not you know what I mean? Like it's almost like the social interaction is kind of lost a little bit,
Yeah, It is. I have a huge problem with that. Like me, when I got into my car accident, I stayed away for a couple of months, went back out into the real world. I was so excited to hang out with my friends, and they're all like the entire time texting, messaging.
Yeah, or
Curtis,
they text each other.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Vegan, you got something you want to say on this? It sounds like you were trying to come in. About family sitting around texting each other, or making waiters wait. That's messed
I'm
up.
sorry. I just realized I didn't have my mute button on.
Oh, that's okay.
I mean, things have changed. Things have changed in a short period of time. I mean, so much has changed, and it's become impersonal, and people are becoming more distant. They think social media is bringing us closer together. Really, what it's doing is creating more distance. It's reducing human interaction, and the only interaction that most people get with others now is through electronics.
Yeah.
And I think it's a control technique that they're using, in my opinion, but it is what it is.
Now, if you have social retarded people because they're never around each other and they don't know how to act with one another, right?
Yes.
You're absolutely right. That gives more separation. That's a good point, Ian.
Yeah, social media is actually not bringing people together, I don't think. I think we're communicating more, we're talking about things, but that human interaction is lacking. You know?
Yeah.
And also, children, they're coming out now, and they develop their personalities based on who they watch on YouTube. Because you see, like on television, someone is really they're usually acting, but on YouTube they're being themselves on screen for hours at a time. So I know kids that watch that, and they're in their own little world. Like they don't like the people near them. They don't develop, like me and my friends used to say the same things to each other, punch each other in the arm, have little handshakes. There's some kids that are completely in their world modeled after one of their favorite YouTubers, which is strange.
And the crazy thing is they think that they know them and they're their friends and stuff. They actually miss it. I don't know. It's a really weird psychological thing.
Hey, my viewers are my friends, buddy. I mean,
they have to realize that we're all just people. You know what I mean? They're themselves and we're ourselves. And I mean, like, as long as it's healthy, it's okay, because if you model after somebody that you think is a good person, then that's good to model after that person. But in no way are you just like them. Everybody's a little different. We're all a little different. We all have our really special things about us.
Well, I kind of want to present this, though. I think that a lot of this has been around a long time. Like, people are normally antisocial anyway. People are like, everybody's looking at their phones. And back in the day, they were just looking at their papers. So it kind of makes me laugh that I think this has been going on a long time. I find some social media really, really good. Like our chat room, very loving people. We get together, we have laughs, we make friends. I wouldn't have met anybody cool like that locally. Like I could have gone out 1,000 times and not met anyone that had anything in common with me. So I do think that there's some awesome things happening on social media, but I also see that when you use it for less intellectual reasons, maybe like Uni's saying that these kids worship these YouTubers and they talk just like them and act just like them and mimic their friends. That now their friends are online friends that they're mimicking. So I don't know if it's better or worse.
Yeah, but it's definitely a phenomenon. And just like you said, I think that it's exactly like you said it. It's all dependent on what you do with it. But the problem with that, point is most people, no, I don't want to say that. There is a large majority of people who aren't going to use it in an intellectual way, like you said. And that's what creates all this, I feel.
No, I guess it's a balance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their own path, I guess some of them have to go down that,
Yeah,
it's different though, like, because if someone doesn't respond to you now, you get, like, I've seen people get destroyed, like, emotionally. Like, no, this person didn't text me back. Like, they're so accustomed to having this constant communication, and when it cuts, it's like, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to, like, be themselves and enjoy themselves.
Oh, take a phone away from a kid, man. That's all you got to do. Or a tablet. Oh, it's World War III right there, man.
Yeah. They're bored. They don't even know what to do.
No.
But the flip side is I remember how awful and boring like trips were. Like me and my brothers had to entertain ourselves and it would, stop touching me. Would you quit touching me?
Are we there yet?
Punching my brother farted on me. You know, all that stuff where you don't hear that stuff anymore. People like take their kids on vacations and they watch DVDs and movies and sit on their iPads and like it totally takes parenting and boredom out. I'm jealous of those little kids now that have these awesome setups.
I think they'd be jealous of you and the stories that you have of all those times that you didn't have anything to do and you made up things to do.
How dangerous!
Creative.
No.
Well,
Burma,
it can be.
We had dangerous. We had a car where my entire seat when we were traveling was that little hump in the rear window. You know that shelf? That was my seat. I would lay up there. and like a little pillow, and I was in the back window, and you'd wave at the truckers, and that was my entertainment. Like, you know, trying to get that truckers to honk. I can't even imagine now. Like, people would lose their mind if a kid traveled like that.
Me and my sister found out about centrifugal force one time. This is a great story. We love telling this story. So we tied a rope to each other, okay? And I'm 5'7.5", and my sister's 5'4". Okay, so that is the difference between me and my sister. We have always been that way. We only have like a year and a half in between each other, but I'm nothing but legs. So I'm, of course, way faster than she is. So as we're running, I'm already down and coming around, and she's coming around, and she just hits this oak tree that you couldn't even put your arms around this oak tree. She just right into it, falls to the ground, passes out, like had a huge dot on her head. I mean, she survived. She was fine. But it's all those little stupid things you do. And how many kids have stories like that nowadays? They don't even go outside. You see kids outside here. It's like children of the corn. You're wondering what they're planning. They're planning a movement.
Yeah, it's a big difference because, I mean, we used to jump off of roofs because we were so bored. And I'm not even kidding. 2-story roof, let's jump off it. We're bored.
Isn't that how Jackass happened? I mean, bored people.
I had like the best of both worlds. I had like a little bit of yours and a little bit of like the new age one. So I did have like all those climbing trees and just jumping off for fun. I just doing dumb shit. I don't know.
That's what builds character. I sound old. That builds character.
It does build character. It also breaks bones sometimes and all kinds of stuff.
Which is a good thing,
That's
in my
good for
opinion.
you. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It really is.
Healing's good.
Makes you tough.
Yeah, make it tough.
Throw me off of a roof. I'm used to it, you know?
I don't know about throwing you off the roof, but
yeah,
okay.
we jumped off the roof a lot of times. Like my brother and me saw Mary Poppins, and we thought an umbrella would carry us down. He's like, it'll work.
I've tried it.
Oh my gosh, it was only like a 10-foot drop, but it was enough to, I think it probably took an inch or two off me.
Umbrellas help for like the
jarred
first
my
second.
spine. Yeah, by the way, the umbrella thing doesn't work, kids.
Yeah. Take it
We'll
from
try
us.
this at home.
Yeah, Mary Poppins.
See, I think the problem is, and I think this is what the newer generation's missing out on, is being in the moment, being present. It's one thing to play Madden. It's another thing to get out there and play football. It's two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of kids today are in their heads more than they are in the world. And I think it's all by design, because it's one thing to be a part of a team. You have to put your body on the line. I'm just using sports as an example. There's other ways to do this, but you're putting your body on the line. You're going to practices. You're not only trying to be good in your position, but you want to help your team win, and so forth and so forth. A lot of these kids today are missing out on that experience, you know, and everything is about staying inside your own head now versus experiencing the external world. And I think it's going down a very slippery slope right now, in my opinion. I didn't mean to get so serious.
Totally serious.
It really is a good point.
It is a good point, though. Yeah.
We're going to have kids that have to do what we were saying earlier. They're going to have to send a text to somebody that's in the same room, or people that are in the same house and they're like, I don't feel like walking and down and talking to that person, which I'm guilty of this. I text Rachel sometimes when she's not down here. I'm like, where are you at? Come here. So you know, it's just impersonal though. It's like that whole, you know, you lose something when we lost something when we weren't face to face, when, you know, phones became more prevalent. We lost that whole sense of, you know, like Doc said, when you had to set up a meeting with someone just to speak to them, it's a lot different than being able to just call them at any time. And then, you know, to go even further and now say that, you know, we can just text all the time. We don't even use voice. It's a little weird.
Well,
I think
I want to hand it back to you, Uni, because I think you kind of called it, that we have a generation of kids coming up now living vicariously through other people.
Yeah.
Like where, you know, they are, instead of talking about the crazy stuff them and their friends did, they're talking about the crazy stuff they just watched on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Because that, I guess, like the whole idea that people can make as much money and have as big as audience as they have gaming blows my mind.
It's bigger than YouTube.
I do not understand why you would sit and watch someone play a game. Like, to me,
Because you wish you could play it like that.
it's just so, I don't get it at all. Like, why not play the game yourself? You know,
a lot of times the gamers aren't even that good. They're just watching to watch.
They're just laughing, I guess, because they're making jokes or something. I don't know, but I don't get it. Like, I would rather play the game myself. Why the hell would I watch someone play?
And, you know, it's weird because YouTube actually just started this new thing, and I've been exploring it on my channel, but there's actually it's like the light and the dark almost. But I'm just saying that because the regular YouTube is a light caller and the gaming YouTube is darker caller. So it's like the Force and the other side of the Force, you know, like Star Wars. Because, you know, they have this thing where if I make a game, it's not going on my channel now. It's going on some other channel that's like a mirrored universe of my channel, and it'll be under there. So you got to go to gaming.youtube.com to see the game, and then come to YouTube to see my videos. It's really weird, and it's huge. I checked it out. I've been looking at it. I'm talking there's millions and millions and millions. I don't even know how to describe it. People watching live at one time. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's not even just kids. There's a lot of grown adult gamers.
Oh, yeah. I'm one of them.
30 and up, you know. So you have a lot of people tuning into this new style of social media, I guess you'd call it.
Well, in competition gaming, I can understand because it's like X Games through video games. I get, you know, the huge crowds doing that, but it's beyond that. We're talking, you know, huge numbers just for watching a guy play a game. And I thought were talking to their audience. They don't even talk to their audience when they do it. So it's crazy.
Yeah, because how could you play a game and read chat at the same time? You couldn't. It would be so hard. So I don't understand. So there's a whole generation of people growing up that's normal. Like, live your life watching through someone else.
That makes no sense to me.
There's also the crazy one where they use like beautiful women to like play fake video games or like DJ live just to get tips.
I can't even keep a straight face. It's too funny.
All right, so for people who've never seen this, you're saying there's like girls sitting around in bikinis that can't play games.
I was going to say this. Yeah.
They're just sitting there playing.
They are the ones that have
someone's doing it for them.
50,000 viewers at once right now on Twitch. You can go find it if you just type it in right now.
And they're making bank.
They're banking. Yep. Millions.
Well, you know what they say.
Hey, good for them. I wish
Sex sells, man. I mean, like, it's a pretty girl. People are going to watch, you know? Yeah. That's how it is.
I just see a meme flash by? I missed it.
It was you, Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that's why do you think I was laughing? I was hysterical. I'm like, you can't even look.
That is so funny. I missed it until just now. That's hilarious. Oh, Kevin Kincaid. Talk about kids sending nude pictures.
Oh, yeah. That's
sexting,
crazy.
Man. Now, I cannot blame these kids. You know, as a horny 14-year-old, I would have totally tried to get some girls to send me a picture. I just can't believe the girls will do it. That's the difference. The girls I knew in high school, none of them would have done that.
Oh, it's crazy. It's almost like they have it ready. Like, boom, 1 second, you got it.
Oh, yeah. They've already taken that, probably ready. Photoshopped it, and, you know, done some sort of app to make themselves look better in it. It's probably like on standby. And they, you know, any girl that has naked pictures ready to go, you gotta wonder.
Yeah. Or like sometimes it's a picture and you know someone took that picture because their hands are in it.
Yeah. What? Yeah, that's right. Because it kind of takes away the sexiness of sexting when you know someone else took the picture. You're like, oh, okay, that's lovely.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm the type of idiot, like if someone sends that to me, I won't even comment. I'll comment on something in the background, like, oh, nice clock. I need to clean that desk up.
Yeah. You need some pledge.
Oh, I have a story of this that some girl that I know went to send just a little cleavage to some dude that wasn't her husband, and she sent it to her husband. It was holding a beer bottle, right? But she sent it to her husband. She didn't mean to send it to her husband. She meant it to send to this other guy. She totally got busted. Can you even believe that? I was like, whoa, well, okay.
Wait, how did she get busted? Wouldn't she just be like, "That's for you, baby"?
Well, because he knew that she doesn't send him that kind of stuff, so he totally knew.
Yeah, that would be a little odd, I guess.
Well, I think social media has led to the increase of breakup and divorces as well. There's a lot of relationships as well as marriages, boyfriends, girlfriends. Because now, if you're going to cheat, you have a better opportunity of cheating because you can reach out more without leaving your home. And two, the mistakes, like Brahma just brought up. This person meant to send something to that person, and it really went to this person. So there's been a lot of social media has impacted relationships heavily.
It makes you wonder though, because I don't think there's probably always been this amount of bad relationships. It's just now they have an easier vehicle to explore other options. Like I think I don't know how to explain it, because it just shows me just how many bad and unhappy people that are together are not happy or satisfied. They're just coasting in their relationships.
Yeah, look at back in the day when divorce rates were low, but that's because people had the religious aspect. Right?
Yeah, there was a social stigma behind it. It was a lot worse to be divorced, where now it's not a big deal at all. Single mom, what? Sure. It's not a big deal. So what blows me away though is just it kind of quantifies that the people with healthy relationships are like the minority.
True.
The majority of people are not in relationships they like.
Yeah, it's just cause. But you guys ever heard of Tinder?
Uh-huh.
That's how easy it is now. You literally, a picture comes up, you either click yes or no, and if the other person clicks yes, boom, hookup. It's a hookup app. It's the most popular hookup app in the world. And it's like millions
where were
of
these
people.
girls when I was in high school? I mean, they didn't. You know how much work
you had to work.
I was trying to get sex.
Exactly.
It was so hard. It was like
hours
the Holy Grail.
Hours of work.
Hey, there's gonna be a time machine in the future.
You just flip it.
Come back.
I'm telling you, something changed, dude. Because I missed that by about 10 years, where girls got easy in high school. I was still in that generation where they were impossible.
Mm-hmm.
It was not. I missed out.
Well, there's another huge, side to the relationship thing being affected by social media. There's, a lot of times, I think it's the social media bringing out the true nature of the person, because look at the person that's gambling like 24/7 because they may not have a casino in their state, but they do it online nonstop. The wife leaves. Look at the guy who, just like we said there, it's easier to cheat, so they go out and cheat. Well, then the girl knows, hey, this guy's going to cheat, so they know to make the decision: am I going to stay with a cheater or not? And I think it is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. Showing a true.
I just wonder how much relationships are going to develop in the future.
Or underdeveloped.
I'll tell you this: in my generation, people don't really. They just like to have company, I guess. That's it. They just like people they can hang out with. It's not like real relationships. It's like, oh, you're cool until the next cool things comes along, and then that's it.
They're like short attention span relationships.
Yeah, basically.
Well,
I experienced that too when I was younger, but
Yeah, I mean, that's traditionally how guys want to date, but not the girls I always dated never wanted that. They always wanted long-term relationships.
Because they don't want to feel like they're being used. That's why, guys.
Yeah, but why is there such a hang-up? Like, where does all that?
I don't know.
Again, let's talk about this social norm.
It's an indoctrination. But if you're what's the social norm? Here we go. Okay. If a girl sits there and is with a lot of men, it's not right. But if a guy puts a bunch of notches on his bedpost, he's a stud for doing that. but
Yeah,
a
but is
girl
that
gets called a
still-
whore.
I think
Yes,
that's went
I think
away
it's
some.
still-
Not in my
I think so.
generation. Not in my
No,
generation.
it's gone
Maybe
now.
you need to
Yeah.
ask that one, because I don't know about. But my generation, that's how it was.
Yeah, we're from that generation, but I don't think Urshad's generation's like that.
No.
It's almost the opposite. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Like-
Females have taken. They've stepped up and they're like, "Hey, we're not going to have that anymore." In my opinion, I think. Sorry,
Yeah.
I only say female because the military had me do that for a long time, so I'm just used to it.
Is that a bad word?
Ladies.
You could call me a female because that's what I am.
I'm just saying,
Female a bad word?
informal.
It's
I
totally
find
I
it
informal.
identify as a book.
You're offending me.
If someone called me a male instead of a guy or a
I'm
dude,
a
I'd be
dang,
like,
I'm a
"That's
dang
informal."
lady. I'm not a lady. I don't like lady either. Lady makes me feel old. Ma'am.
See,
I don't know. It's
whole
really
lack
a
of
weird
connection.
like time. Like Vegan said, it happened so fast, so it's all confusing.
Yeah.
Hey, what about the 35-year-old grandma or grandpa, or the very young grandparent? That's a
That is a
phenomenon.
norm.
My
It's a social
sister,
norm.
That
we're
is
40. I'm 45 right now. My sister will be 45. My sister's 43. Her grandson is 8 years old.
Oh,
Whoa.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we made my mom a grandmother in her 30s too. So I mean, my niece was very early.
So how did you
as-
handle it? Was that strange for you, or are you cool with it because it's like a family thing?
It's almost gone in generational because my mom had me when she was 18. I had my son when I was 18. My sister had her first daughter at 18. Although my niece was way earlier, and she's part of the millennial generation. And
Well, 50 years ago, that wasn't weird at all. Like everybody had kids young and they got married at like
we
15,
seem to have gone
16.
through that where
But now it's
it's
definitely different.
yeah.
You know what's the crazy part? Every guy that I know that gets like happens really early for them, they're like, I don't understand how it happened. It's like, oh, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
It's like the
It's
one
like
thing
the
they tell
birds
you
and the
not to
bees
do.
talk.
It's the one thing they tell you, please do this, and no one does it.
Aliens.
Yeah.
I always blame everything on aliens.
Aliens got me
Hold
pregnant.
on, I'm gonna do my ancient
Good as
alien
it's-
guy. There we go, my ancient alien
It's
guy. Was
almost long enough. We just need some product and you'd be there.
No, I could be.
You have to dry it upside down with some like Aquanet and you can get it right up there.
Yeah, I want to get an interview, and I'll do my hair just like his when I interview him.
You'd be thankful you have all that hair at your age.
I know.
Some guys don't.
I've never grown it, so I wanted to see it, and now I like it. But it is really, I understand why women complain about their hair all the time, man. It like, I
Yeah.
opened the window in my car and I got like assaulted, man. It was like whipping me in the eyeballs. I was like, oh my gosh, so what? I can't drive without a headband on? Like,
Goes in your eyes.
hair.
I know. I did this today. Put the hair back in the because I was like windows down in
It's
the
not long
Mustang.
enough yet for a ponytail, but
Yeah, that stuff whips around and catches you right in the eye.
What
but if I
about
did,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, if I did do a ponytail, I'd have to make fun of myself. So I don't know.
Do a man fun.
There's nothing wrong with a ponytail.
There's nothing wrong with a ponytail, except this. I have a friend of mine who has longer hair than me, so my hair's down the middle of my back. So we're standing there to go into this concert, and he's a pretty small build. He's a pretty tall dude. And he tells stories like this all the time, and it's so funny. I got to experience it. Some guy come walking up behind us, and he's like, "Hey, ladies!" And my friend turns around, and he's a dude, and he always started laughing. So he's like, "Oh my god!"
Like, hey, ladies.
Well,
Yes.
he's really small built, you know what I mean? So he's really skinny in the butt end. So he almost looks like a woman. I would think he was a woman if he was walking down the street. You know what I mean? I'd be like, beep, beep.
Not cool,
Even
man.
that is a weird social norm too. People coming up behind you and like, hey, what's up? Like, that's crazy.
That's a get
I really
tackled
saw-
and punched in the face norm around here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm not like that. I know people like that. In the military, it's like that. Guys are real, something about people coming up behind them, but
Just don't drop
Freaks
the
me
stuff.
out.
All right, and on that note, I think we've had some fun tonight, and I appreciate the light humor. Let's talk some shop. I've got an interview with Garnet coming up Thursday. This fella is a very interesting interview. He went through. He was kind of like a Mr. Business kind of guy that was strict didn't really believe in spirituality, and then something big happened in his life, and he completely flip-flopped. And this guy now lives a very, very interesting spiritual life. I'm not going to give away all the details. You have to tune in Thursday if you want to hear more. So Thursday's show should be a lot of fun. And let's see. And then I believe I also have an interview this Saturday with Stasha, which I'll talk about that more Thursday. I do want to thank all the donors tonight. That was completely unexpected to donate for us just sitting around being silly and talking about social norms. It's nice to just do a show that's not so serious once in a while. I'm enjoying this. So thanks, guys. And I really want to thank my guests that came on, as well as my moderators. I got some moderators in there looking out for us, and there's a lot of mullet talk right now.
Mullets were awesome.
I might wear a mullet just for a joke, but I'm not going to roll that way. So there you go. I might do it for you one night.
Yeah, one night's okay. That's about enough of that.
That's right. Maybe for the 80s party or something.
So glad that went away.
Oh, yeah. You know, Burma, you got to bring an 80s outfit for the party Friday night.
Yeah, you might be out of luck with that unless I just
whatever, just bring some like
or something.
Aquanet and blast your hair up and throw a bunch of...
This hair hasn't been up since the 80s. There's no way this hair's going to I would totally, the rest of it would fall out.
Fine, then just put like a sideways ponytail in and you're good.
Oh,
and then,
I'll
like,
put two.
Put some fluorescent damn makeup all over your face.
That I might be able to do.
You're good. You're good. And then...
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Vegan, are you coming to Pork Fest or are you dodging?
Yes, vegan.
On the spot.
I'm thinking about it.
Still haven't decided?
I still haven't decided yet.
We got a spot.
You know,
in the camping.
Next week.
Yeah. Should be fun.
When do I need to make a decision?
Like soon. It's next week.
Do you see me, vegan? Do you see me pointing? It's next week.
I don't have you guys on camera. Okay, now I can see you. Oh, it's next week. Next week when?
Yeah.
Next weekend?
It is the 21st through the 25th. But unofficially it starts the 19th. Officially it's the 21st.
I'm not going to be there till midnight.
Not this weekend, the following weekend.
Following weekend, but you probably want to come up by Thursday. You don't want to. You're going to miss a lot if you just roll in. Thursday, Friday, Saturday's a fun times.
What about Friday, Saturday?
They're still fun, yeah. And you got to bring an 80s outfit because I host a 1980s party on Friday night.
Oh, I've never left the 80s.
All right, well, you good.
He's still bopping around listening to 80s music.
You got some old breakdance moves. You can win silver.
Oh, I am totally about watching vegan do that. You better get
it on video, please.
You win silver if you
post it on social media.
Speaking of that, shouldn't we do something? Shouldn't we do something while we're up there so we can
the
make a video or something?
Internet.
Just make a video and then you
stream. But we could definitely do a group show together and just laugh, tape it. Yeah, I'll bring some cameras.
Then put it on so people can watch. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll come back and dump it up every few days. Yeah. So if you guys are in the Northeast, you are welcome to join the party. Next week is Pork Fest. You just go to porkfest.com and you still get tickets. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. What else did I want to cover? I thanked everybody for the donations. Oh, the Amazon. If you're going to go shopping, don't forget this week for Father's Day, please go through my Amazon link first. It does really help. Like I said, YouTube has not really come back up yet, although Unirock says it's starting to crawl up a little. So maybe that'll be good news. I don't know, Vegan, have you seen your channel? Are you picking up anything, or is it still dead?
Honestly, I haven't cast a check yet. I mean, I know it's piling up, and I just really don't pay attention to it.
No. I meant like as far as it seemed like the views have been way down in the summertime. I think.
Sometimes.
Oh, the views on the videos you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think
mine's been going down dramatically.
No, I don't know if that's just everybody's out doing fun stuff because their kids are out, or YouTube is really not just letting people see. Like I have, 45,000 subscribers, and I'll have 300, 400 people watching something, and something's not right about that. Like, why is only 300, 400 people finding out?
If it comes back by the winter, or the fall, it's probably the fact that it's summertime here in the U.S.
Or YouTube's just not letting people know I'm like.
Yeah, it's not recent. It's been this way for the last 2 months maybe.
Yeah, more than that probably.
People need to show some love and start sharing.
So they're playing games with the algorithms. That's what they're doing.
I guess so. Well, we're waiting for you to finish playing. I'm ready.
Download complete.
That's it. And then we are going to go over to the Afterglow, which, by the way, Urshad, if you want to make a pitch for what's going on, I have, if you guys haven't heard, I have stepped down from administrative duties, and Urshad now is running the Afterglow, but I will be over there to hang out and chat after this. So if you want to drop a link up there.
Yeah, send me a link. I'm on my business computer.
Okay, we can drop a Discord link. I might be able to
link
drop
up.
one.
He's on his business computer.
Yeah, we're gonna drop it. If you want to come chat with us and hang out, you can continue this chat about inappropriate social norms. And since we're not on
Cursing
air,
is
you
okay
can
then?
actually go ahead and talk about other stuff if you want.
I've been good.
More adult
I'm just
stuff.
saying I'm a truck driver and I've been really good.
Yeah, I
except for
know.
the false
I know.
comment.
But I hope you guys want to come by. And there's the Discord drop. Captain Waffles just dropped that. Do you see it, Vegan, in the chat, or do you need it?
I'll drop it in our chat too.
Yeah, drop it in the so he can get a fresh link.
Yeah, I got it. You know,
Yeah, come on in, and we'll be hanging out there and yakety yakking. And Urshad is doing some fun stuff over there, and I believe so.
Yeah, we got some fun stuff planned in the weeks to come. Make it a little more interactive, more community driven. I think everyone will really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what comes out. I know there's going to be some events going on over there, so we'll keep you in the loop. I'm going to let you guys have your last 2 minutes go around. So, Unirock, do you want to pitch your show coming up tonight?
Oh, yeah, Doc. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, after you get a chance to chat in the Discord, if you have time, swing over. I host a show at night. I'm doing a presentation on the gold standard, and then I'm just going to be chatting with whoever's in the chat. By the late night, we'll probably play a couple zombie games where I name the people who are trying to survive the game after viewers and see who lives and who dies by the end of it. It's pretty fun. So come over at my channel if you get a chance. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you.
All right. Vegan, you want to go ahead and you got anything coming up this week?
No, I've just been pumping out a lot of videos because I had a backlog of videos that I never published, and they're coming out like
Yeah, I haven't been able to
bang,
keep
bang,
up with them
bang,
yet.
bang, bang, you know, and you know, I understand people may not necessarily agree with the flat Earth or the Mandela effect or even veganism, because I tend to talk about all three, but the information that I'm putting out is not trying to convince you. I'm just sharing what's commonly known that I think a lot of people have forgotten or haven't considered.
I liked your flat Earth one, Vegan. That was really good.
Yeah, so it's just stuff for people to think about, not to convert anybody. I'm not.
We're converting, all right.
I'm not trying to convert anybody. I want you to be your own person, you know. So my videos are just there to show the other side, because we're all taught one thing, but quite often we haven't heard the other side. I'm just sharing the other side. That's all.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Trinidad, I've actually been hearing people talking about flat Earth recently, like this week. The
That's
first
cool.
time ever. And Mandela effect, so.
Yeah.
It's cool because even if it's not true, if it is true, it's opening people's minds to the possibility of things that you know, we're so indoctrinated from the beginning of time, right? I mean, since we're little kids, and how do you know it's all true? I mean, none of us know that any of it's true.
Yeah, just to look into it and, you know.
Right, give it some merit.
Have fun with it. That's all. I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, we've been wanting. Ever since day one, people have asked me to do a flat Earth show, and I was going to bring. I'm open to it. I just got to find the right guest. I put out a call and nobody answered. So
I got a guy
named
named
talking
Jaron.
about it.
Jaron would be a great guy for you.
Yeah, if you can get him on.
He'll match your temperament.
And then if you want to come on, that'd be fine. I'm willing to hear about it. It's just when I asked if anybody wanted to come on about flat Earth, nobody answered. So
I'm down. I want to learn more.
I'm down too. I
like it.
I think that there's a lot of merit in what they're saying, you know.
I'll probably do something next week.
Even if you
listening.
don't believe it, there are a lot of interesting points that really make you think about it.
Right. Absolutely. The flights are a big one.
Simplistic things.
Yeah.
Or I always get people with the flat train tracks. Like, have you ever seen a curved train track?
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at the manufacture process?
Yeah, absolutely.
That one really makes them think. I
So
find.
yeah, I'll reach out to the community, because I'm deep in the flat Earth community, I'll reach out to Jaron. He's a powerhouse. I'll reach out to Eric Dubay and a few other people and introduce them to.
Yeah, we'll pick a
Doc,
night in July.
You know,
'Cause
sure.
I'm tied up until July with guests, I believe. Then I'm good to go.
Right. Okay.
Thanks, man. Yeah, if you can hook me up with the right people, I'd appreciate it. And
All right. Cool.
that's it. We got some more people coming up after PorkFest. I probably won't be doing a live show. Unirock, if you want that slot next Thursday night,
Nice.
All right.
it's yours.
Will do.
So I'm going to tell you guys to go over there because we will be PorkFesting it out at that time.
I can't wait, man. It was funny is that I didn't realize it was next week until today. And then I'm like, now I got a lot of stuff to do, but I'm excited. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We will meet you over in the Afterglow chat. And Rashad's going to drop that link one more time.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys there.
Shout out Mrs. Waffles.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys later.